My Dalit brothers, they don't have any idea of history. कांग्रेस ने जगजीवन बाबू को पीएम नहीं बनने दिया. ये कहते हैं ना, आप सुनते होंगे. कांग्रेस ने पीएम नहीं बनने दिया जगजीवन बाबू को. This is completely rubbish and false. It is not the question of number. It is a question of mind. Ambedkar, BP Mandal, all, they were not fighting with guns. They were fighting with ideas. Question of job and education was on the topmost priority of Ambedkar. Some of Dalits leaders are taking name of Ambedkar and openly joined this RSS BJP government. Are they socialist? Are they Ambedkarite? Are they communist? I am not speaking here as a spokesperson of the party. I am speaking as a student of history. So Congress और BJP एक है. Both are the same. Congress RSS की माँ है. Congress is mother of RSS. एक सांपनाथ है, एक नागनाथ है. These are the slogans you might be having. As a student of history, is it true? Today we have two options. One, India, Congress, left parties and Samajwadi, RJD. And two, India. India led by primarily BJP. So Indian society has been multi-layered. Caste above the caste, caste below the caste. President BP Mandal Sena and friends. First of all, I must congratulate you for celebrating BP Mandal Sahab Jayanti. Today we were there at Mandal Sena statue to garland the statue. Karpuri Sahab and BP Mandal Sahab and Baba Sahab. Yesterday we were in Nagarjuna University and we garlanded the statue of Baba Sahab, Babuji and Mahatma Phule. So when this statue was established, BP Mandal Sahab statue, I was there, I was present there. So this is my second visit to Guntur. So thank you everyone. And I have been given a very serious and sincere topic. I am a student of history, I teach history. My work, PhD thesis is on Kashi Prasad Jaiswal, the making of a legendary historian. So he was a historian par excellence, he was a lawyer by profession. And Baba Sahab in his writing, Revolution and Counter-Revolution, he quoted extensively Kashi Prasad Jaiswal. So I have published 5 or 6 books on him. That is from my PhD thesis. And during Corona period, before that, here and there, I have read some articles on Baba Sahab. But the Corona period, this was also Abda mein Avsar for me. Prime Minister Narendra Modi given a slogan, Abda mein Avsar, ki opportunity in distress. So I was, because I have to take class online, so I started reading Ambedkar. I think you are comfortable in English, or should I mix some Hindi? Okay. So, and it was also from the challenge from the so-called Ambedkarite, busy and active on social media. And every time they, give you certificate, you are Ambedkarite, you are not Ambedkarite, right? Without reading Ambedkar, without understanding Ambedkar, they are used to give you certificate. If they did not agree with you on some point of time, So this was the background. I started reading Ambedkar. And some of you may have seen a YouTube channel called AmbedkarNama. And I have made almost 1,000 video on writing and speeches of Ambedkar. And this is how I got an opportunity to familiarize with Ambedkar writing speeches and Ambedkar as a historian, a statesman par excellence. So this is the background. So the topic is quite big, Indian Constitution and social justice. For a while you just leave Indian Constitution. Before the coming of the Indian Constitution, and it was a long journey. 1909, then Southborough Committee, Parliamento, Montesquieu, Chelmsford, Simon Commission, then Government of India Act 1935, then Constituent Assembly, then finally the establishment of the Constitution, the coming of the Constitution. So it was not a one-day process. It took a long time, long journey. जो present form में Constitution है. So, before the coming of the Constitution, what we had, if the idea of social justice is there, which means there has been social injustice throughout the history. That is why there is the necessity for idea of social justice. So Indian society has been multi-layered. Caste above the caste, caste below the caste. So multi-layered. BP Mandal Sahab gave a lecture in Bihar Vidhan Sabha in 1952 and also in Parliament 1977 about atrocities on Harijans. Harijan term that was in use at that time. So he compared Negroes with Dalits. Negroes with Dalit. And he gave a long speech, and there has been, throughout atrocities against the Dalits throughout in history. So he was quite atrocities on Harijans. It is in Hindi. So I quote, बिहार में हरिजन पर होने वाले अत्याचार को छिपाना चाहते हैं मिनिस्टर. They want to hide the atrocities on the Harijans. अगर अमेरिका में निगरों पे जुल्म होता है तो उससे कम जुल्म हमारे यहाँ हरिजन पे नहीं होता है. So if there is atrocity on Negroes in America, it is equally important that there is atrocity on Harijans in India. So he compared that. So today I have brought some material from speeches of Baba Sahab writing and speeches, and especially I will focus on the relationship between Dalits and backward, because we always claim that we are the majority of the people. So today we have two options. One, India, Congress, left parties, and Samajwadi, RJD, and two, NDA. NDA led by primarily BJP. BJP backed by RSS. So on the one hand, you have a group of people, group of parties representing Indian Republic and Indian Constitution. Rahul Gandhi is talking about caste census, social justice, bhagidari, representation, participation, every time. On the other hand, you have RSS-backed BJP. In the last Lok Sabha election, they categorically announced 400 par. For what? We need more than 400 seats. For what? To change the constitution, not modify the constitution. To change the constitution. And what is constitution for them? Manusmriti. Dr. Ambedkar, Dr. Ala mentioned the name of my book, recently published in Hindi from Raj Kamal publication, the renowned publication. पटनायक साहब जानते होंगे, दिल्ली आते जाते हैं आप. धर्मांतरण, अंबेडकर की धम्म यात्रा, conversion, the journey of Ambedkar towards Dhamma. And you go and see, I have collected material from 1920 to 1956. It is a thick volume, 550 pages. And what Ambedkar said, repeatedly said, wrote about Manusmriti. See, there was difference between opinion of Jawaharlal Nehru and Ambedkar. Obviously, this is a historical fact. Nehru, but both of them agreed that we have to make India a true democratic socialist state. ये तो fact है. This is a fact. For the last 2 or 3 decades, some of the Ambedkarite parties, I don't want to name anyone, but you have seen they are propagating Congress and BJP same. You ponder over this carefully. I am not speaking here as a spokesperson of the party. I am speaking as a student of history. So Congress और BJP एक है. Both are the same. Congress RSS की माँ है. Congress is mother of RSS. एक सांपनाथ है, एक नागनाथ है. These are the slogans you might be having. As a student of history, is it true? As a student of history, may I ask a question? Is it true? Obviously not. If Ambedkar was alone a member of Constituent Assembly, and there were 296 members, left parties are there, Nawabs, Rajas, Kings and all, they were there. There were not people's representative. Right? All were there, almost 300 plus members were there. Ambedkar was unanimously elected as a chairman of the drafting committee. He argued within the, go and see the Constituent Assembly debates. If everyone was Manuvadi in that Constituent Assembly, including Jawaharlal, so was it possible to have the constitution as we have? Was there any question about the social justice in the Constituent Assembly? 340 article for OBC, 341 for scheduled caste, 342 for scheduled tribe. Ambedkar alone was there. And all people from upper caste, Nawabs, Kings, Jamindars, landlords, they were in the house. If everyone was Manuvadi, then was it possible to have idea of social justice in the constitution? Is it possible, can we say all upper caste people are Manuvadi and all backwards are communist, or all backwards are or Dalits are Ambedkarite or socialist? Can we take this position? ऐसा neat clear cut division नहीं होता है. Is it not possible? If you see the present regime, some of Dalits leaders are taking name of Ambedkar and openly joined this RSS BJP government. Are they socialist? Are they Ambedkarite? Are they communist? Or they are the carriers of Hindu Rashtra? What will happen to these ministers if Hindu Rashtra is on the door? So we have to deconstruct some of the ideas which have been propagated in the recent 2 or 3 decades. Ambedkar joined Congress government, interim government, and he was law minister also. The questions were asked by the people कि वो मैं एक लिख रहा हूँ. I just want to read some of the paragraph for the clarity. Ambedkar was very pragmatic man, right? He took inspiration from 3 gurus: Buddha, Phule, and Kabir and Phule. But there was 4th guru also. Yesterday we talked about him, John Davy, who teach him in Columbia University. From there, from his guru, John Davy, Ambedkar learned pragmatism. He never had unrealistic dreams. If you see Ambedkar, when he entered into the public life, although his first piece of article published in 1916 when he was a student of Columbia University, it was published in Bombay Chronicle. And if you read the article, you will understand his intellectual insight as a student. So, in 1919, he gave a memorandum to South Borough Committee and even appeared before the South Borough Committee. He gave certain demands. 1927-28, he appeared before the Simon Commission. For the first time, Ambedkar argued that we should have universal suffrage, adult franchises. You might have knowing that before the coming of the constitution, there was a certain property rights and income tax for the voting rights, property condition or educational condition for the voting rights. So Ambedkar was the man who gave memorandum to the Simon Commission demanding universal suffrage. और आज तो वोट चोरी हो रहा है, वोट चोर गद्दी, अभी नारे लग रहे हैं ना अभी. And we have been raising this issue for the last 8-9 years. There is some big problem in this EVM. So it is one step forward. Forget about EVM, we can manage votes. So what I am trying to suggest is Ambedkar every time gave memorandum, requested the Viceroy, round table conference. He spoke heavily against the Jamindars and Rajas, heavily. And he take donation from them also, 1,345 pounds for all Rajas, and he gave me donation. For what? For Bahiskrit Hitkarni Sabha. We have to establish hostel for them. Ambedkar never saw unrealistic dreams कि ब्राह्मण को विदेश भेज देंगे, देश पे कब्जा कर लेंगे, हुक्मरान बन जाएंगे. He was asking a small thing. Voting rights, hostel, education. My next book is coming, Ambedkar and the question of education. You see what he was arguing कि हमारे बच्चों के लिए हॉस्टल हो. Government must provide hostel for our kids. He take loan from the government to establish the People's Education Society, Siddharth College, Milind College. If you see the grievances of scheduled caste, he said
And if there were some jobs for scheduled caste, so he was quite happy. Yes, our 5 people got job in government service. So the question of job and education was on the topmost priority of Ambedkar. Topmost. Do you know his secretary, Milind College, People's Education Society, principal secretary, are they Dalits? No. From several other backgrounds. Several backgrounds. Upper caste backgrounds. In Siddharth College, 2,000 students were doing their degree, and out of 2,000, only 60 were scheduled caste. In 1942, before the establishment of People's Education Society, he categorically argued, he made a memorandum to Viceroy, grievances of scheduled caste, and he gave data, huge data is there. Out of 1056 ICS, only 1 have Dalit. And CPWD contractors, only 1 was Dalit. So his focus was on education, job, freeship, scholarship. Freeship scholarship. And he was successful. What I am saying all this, you may feel ki why I am narrating all this event. Because in the last 3 and 4 decades, with the rise of Dalit assertion and Dalit power, politics, the Ambedkar idea about freeship, scholarship, education and job become redundant. Am I right or wrong? So yesterday we were talking in the small meeting of friends that the Ambedkarite leaders and political parties are doing just opposite what Ambedkar did and what Ambedkar said. Just opposite. Ambedkar struggled throughout his life. See, man, we are a minority in our national life. Scheduled caste. आप क्वेश्चन करेंगे कि बैकवर्ड के लिए क्या किया? मैं आता हूं उस पॉइंट पे अभी कि अम्बेडकर ने बैकवर्ड्स के लिए क्या किया. तो जो द प्रॉब्लम वी आर फेसिंग टुडे was faced by Ambedkar in 1930s. 1930s, when Ambedkar got separate electorate for the Dalits, separate electorate. Then the backward people, they came and they argued that you should include us in that. Ambedkar and his team argued that this is meant for untouchables. This is meant for untouchables. So what you do is you demand separate electorate for yourself. And that was not a new thing. Before 1932, in Madras and Bombay province, Madras including this portion, उस समय तो ये मद्रास province ही था. There was a reservation, a political reservation for the backward people. So the Dalits were not saying anything new. They were saying that you just demand separate electorate for yourself and we will support you. So they did not agree. They did not agree. हम कहा उसी में डालो मुझे, जो शेड्यूल कास्ट के लिए आया है अनटचेबल उसी में डालो, सब अलग से नहीं. So Ambedkar wrote what Brahman had opposed us, it is more than Brahmins, the backward people oppose separate electorate. So Ambedkar got experience in 1930. So if you see, he wrote a message to Maratha Temple. Maratha Temple was a magazine, launch of Maratha Temple. So the Maratha people requested Ambedkar to come and address the gathering. So in this article, I will read some of the points. And it is very 2-page article. Maratha, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar's message to Maratha Mandir. Maratha Mandir is the name of the magazine. Name of the magazine. In a nutshell, he argues, you learn from the Brahmins. It is not important that you have elementary or secondary education. Education is not important for your liberation. What is important is the higher education. And case of reference here again is a Brahmin. The Brahmin, they are minority in number, but they are everywhere. But they are everywhere. The reference is again Brahmin. Why they are everywhere? They control the state, the institution, the politics, even economy. Well, it is not because of education, it is because of higher education. So if any backward people, including Maratha and all backward people, they want to emancipate from themselves, they should have higher education. And at the top of the bureaucracy, where you can take a command, you can protect your people. This is not I am saying, this is Ambedkar wrote. The important point here is the last paragraph of this message. He says, there is another point I like to mention. The middle class as compared with aristocracy and the lower class have certain faults, which are faults of that class all over the world. The middle class has not the generosity of the aristocracy to tolerate the advance of the lower classes. And it does not possess idealism of the lower classes. Okay? It hates the aristocracy. It hates the aristocracy because of its superior status. It hates the lower classes because it does not like it to rise equal to itself. The Maratha are middle class of India, and anyone who has worked with them will know that they have the faults of middle class outlined above. What is the problem with the intermediary caste? Or it is all over the world. They are neither interested to tolerate the upper strata, neither want to see the rise of the lower people. And giving the example of the world history, Ambedkar said this is the problem with the Marathas. And he gives solution also. The Maratha are the middle class of India, and anyone who has worked with them will know that they have faults of middle class outlined above. There are two ways for the Maratha to proceed. Two ways. One, to join their superiors. Either upper class में आप join करो. One, to join their superiors and to prevent the lower classes rising to the level to the level. Or to join with lower classes and destroy those who are superiors of both. There was a time when they joined the lower classes. Recently, they have joined the higher classes. It is not for me to say which is the right path for them to follow. There is no doubt about it that the destiny of not only of others but Marathas themselves must depend upon which of the two roads they will choose. That must be left to the wisdom of the leaders of the Marathas, of which there appears to great dearth. After this was written in 1947, and this is 80 years. May I ask a question from leaders of the activists of scheduled caste, tribe, or backward classes? Are we thankful? हम किसी को शुक्रिया कहते हैं, थैंक यू कहते हैं, धन्यवाद कहते हैं. रिसेंटली मंडल डे है आज, इसलिए मैं ये कह रहा हूं. मंडल डे हम लोग मना रहे हैं. वी आर सेलिब्रेटिंग मंडल जयंती. डिड वी थैंक यू वीपी सिंह? डिड वी थैंक यू अर्जुन सिंह? Because it is the effort of Ambedkar and BP Mandal and VP Singh and others, Sharad Yadav, ST and backward classes को reservation मिल गया. You never been into the roads. Did you struggle? Did you fight? फ्री का चाहिए? फ्री का चाहिए? Without a struggle, without any fight, without any sacrifice? All Manuwadis, Arjun Singh, VP Singh, all Manuwadis? Think over it. When you go to bed, just think over it. Jagjeevan Ram was Chamcha, and Indira Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, sab Manuwadi. This is what narrative which is spreading throughout the decades. Did we read Jagjeevan Ram writing any speeches? Did we read Indira Gandhi? Did we read anyone? No. Are we spending on research? History? Sloganary, we are एकदम far ahead. बाबा साहब ने कहा था शिक्षा शेरनी का दूध है. We spend on education. If I offer you कि I'll manage ticket for you, विधान सभा और लोक सभा ticket, तो you will run with bags, heavy bags. If I say I have to do some research and I need 2 research assistants for library, our society is going to spend any penny? Fundamental question I am asking. ये कहूँ कि विधानसभा टिकट मिलेगा, ठीक है, तो बैग लेके पहुंच जाओगे, लेकिन एक बच्चे को फॉरेन भेजना है पढ़ने के लिए. We have to send some researcher to London for higher studies. Are we going to spend? No. How will you fight with the Manusmriti walas and Hindu Rashtra walas? Only with number, by number? Brahmin तो number नहीं है. It is not the question of number, it is a question of mind. Ambedkar, BP Mandal, all, they were not fighting with guns. They were fighting with ideas. During the period of Indira, sometimes, I think 6 months back, I defended Indira Gandhi an emergency. You may agree or disagree. I said, during the Indira regime, the Dalits became the official son-in-law. सरकारी दामाद कहते थे. आपको याद होगा सर? Indira Gandhi became the Amma of the Dalits. All, privy purse abolition. Land ceiling imposed. Nationalization of bank. Scheduled tribe special component plan. Scheduled caste special component plan. Did we thank her? Babu Jagjivan Ram, 1957, go and read. He gave Ambedkar Memorial Lecture in Chennai. And what he said? Ki Baba Sahib framed the idea, constitution, and we are going to implement it. So Babu Jagjivan Ram was extension of Ambedkar. And how we have treated him? Especially asking about Dalits. In 1957, he implemented promotion in reservation in railways. There was a court case in Madras. Babu Jagjivan Ram lost it. He went to Supreme Court. He won it. And after that, without having cabinet meetings, he implemented reservation in various sectors. Health Ministry, railways. Even you are not educated, school pass nahi hai, chalega, mali ban jao. Security staff, chaukidar. 10th class pass a clerk. कैसे ट्रीट किया हम लोगों ने? So these RSS BJP people, they are quite aware. These people did not want anything. They want only ticket and ministry of their caste. These people are not interested in education, the jobs, friendship, scholarship, future of career. Not interested in share in wealth, national wealth. Nothing doing. They want just ticket, political ticket. This is my experience from North India. What is happening in Andhra Pradesh, I don't know. But I think, लेकिन same thing, कोई manifesto नहीं, कोई agenda नहीं, nothing, no manifesto. So it is quite obvious. Some of mad people like us, they are not interested in ticket, they are interested in agenda. What will be the manifesto? एजेंडा क्या होगा? Once some doctor, Mr. Jain, he called me few days back. I've been listening you on your YouTube channel, and what you are saying is absolutely correct. We did our medical from government hospital 2,500 rupees, 2,500 rupees. Mess bill 200. Dr. Ala, you are here. You are studying in government medical college. How much did you pay? 200 rupees. Annum, per annum. 200 rupees per annum. I became doctor. Mess 50 rupees. Now, free. Mess was free, 200 rupees. Allah Sahab, you tell us now, what is the fees of the medical college? Tell us our audience. Now, NIT is there. And what is the fees of medical college? Anyone engineer here? Engineer? Engineer, everybody. Private colleges. Now what is the fees? Tell us the
In government college right now it is also only 15,000. But in private medical college, minimum 2 lakhs to 1 crore.
1 crore. Any middle class people are able to send their children to the private medical college, and private medical college is mushrooming. Private medical college is mushrooming. I bought a letter of Indira Gandhi, और स्पेशली दलित जिनको दिमाग खराब हो गया, कल भी मैंने कहा था दिमाग खराब हो गया है कि हम राजा बनेंगे तब सब कुछ कर लेंगे. We will do everything after I become a PM. And if you don't become a PM, then everything will be finished. Is it the correct way to deal with the people, the politics? बाबा साहब ने कहा 1949, we have been asking for 3 things throughout his life. हमारे लोग अंबेडकर भी नहीं पढ़ते हैं, हमारे पॉलिटिकल क्लास तो और भी नहीं पढ़ते हैं. इवन मैं ये CPM का ऑफिस है. It is good to you are having lecture here. बाबा साहब भारत एंड साम्यवाद, इंडिया एंड कम्युनिज्म पढ़िए. डॉक्टर अंबेडकर, his first manifesto, Independent Labour Party, he was very close to the Marxist idea.
Flag is red.
Yes, flag is red. Independent Labour Party. And if you see the manifesto, it is like a communist manifesto. You see this state and minority, he talked about state socialism, nationalization of bank, land, public sector unit. He said, wherever possible, we will have private sector, otherwise government sector. Insurance, life insurance, मतलब public state control होना चाहिए. State and minority पढ़िए, go and read state and minority. Parliamentary democracy, it was a way between communism and between रास्ता, बीच का रास्ता है. Education free, fellowship, SC ST के लिए age enhancement, क्योंकि because they go late to the school. अब किसी पार्टी के मैनिफेस्टो में है ये. इंदिरा गांधी का एक लेटर पढ़ता हूं. आई थिंक आई हैव टेकन इनफ टाइम. आर वी सीरियस अबाउट सोशल जस्टिस, कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन? जात अपने कास्ट के पार्टी में चले जाते हैं. दलित रामविलास पासवान सन, रामविलास पासवान हिमसेल्फ went to RSS camp. When privatization was going on, it is true, in 90s LPG came in, but that government never sold off any public institution. It was the Atal Bihari Vajpayee who established separate ministry, disinvestment ministry. The poor India, Nehru, Indira, Rajiv, all, they gave free education, jobs and pension. If you are doing caste politics, so let me phrase like this. A secular socialist democrat Brahman prime minister Pandit Atal Bihari Vajpayee Nehru, ठीक है? A secular democrat socialist Brahman prime minister Nehru and his daughter Indira, grandson Rajiv Gandhi ने भी जवाहर नवोदय विद्यालय and all public sectors he did. So they gave you free education, almost free education, jobs. एक आदमी के पास 3 जॉब्स रहते थे. ऑप्शन what kind of job you are going to do. बैंक है, स्कूल है, पुलिस है. And pension, after retirement you will be entitled to pension. That was done by Indira Gandhi, 1972. And Dakshinpanthi, right winger, pro corporate, Brahman Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee, he took away everything. Is it right phrase? And it is not for the Dalit and backwards, it is also for Brahmins. So I was invited by some of my friends. So most of them were from upper caste background. So I told them कि आइए हिंदू राष्ट्र में आपका भी स्वागत है. You are also welcome in Hindu Rashtra, where you don't have free education, you don't have job, and you don't have pension. And most of the beneficiary of Nehru and Indira and all were especially upper caste people. SC/ST reservation में mandatory वही पूरा नहीं होता था कभी. It was not completed every time. Backward people 5 to 7% coming through generally in merit. And mostly recipient of the public sector institution was upper caste, especially Brahmins. Go and see the scenario of Hindu Rashtra. They are also, you will find them working in Sulabh International. Go and find them. Am I right or wrong, Allah Sahab? All security guards, private security guards, you are also welcome to the Hindu Rashtra. आइए, आपका भी स्वागत है. So what we have to be collective. We have to save public sector. This is the fundamental question. Who were against Indira Gandhi? She was doing what? State socialism. What Ambedkar gave idea of a state socialism in state and minority. Pandit Nehru and Indira Gandhi, and they were doing in phase-wise manner. 14 national banks were nationalized. Any Dalit, any backward, they were the owner of any bank. No. So who were against Indira Gandhi? He finished privy purse. Land ceiling. Land distribution to the Dalits. Who were against Indira Gandhi? JP, Jayaprakash. He legitimized RSS. If RSS is a fascist force, then I am also fascist force. My Dalit brothers, they don't have any idea of history. कांग्रेस ने जगजीवन बाबू को पीएम नहीं बनने दिया. ये कहते हैं ना, आप सुनते होंगे. कांग्रेस ने पीएम नहीं बनने दिया जगजीवन बाबू को. This is completely rubbish and false. It was Jayaprakash Narayan who prevented him to becoming as prime minister. Because if you see during emergency, every big leader was in jail. The election was fought in the name of Jagjivan Ram, 1977. Jagjivan was the leader. Am I right or wrong? First option he was in 1966 after Lal Bahadur Shastri. There were three contestants: Morarji Desai, Indira Gandhi, and Jagjivan Ram. Jagjivan Ram withdrew himself in favor of Indira Gandhi. Because if I stand, then this right winger Morarji Desai will win and become a prime minister. The second phase during Janata Party Sarkar, Janata Party government, if the election was, Jagjivan Ram established their own party, Congress Democratic. है ना? Congress for Democracy. So if you have established your own party, if I am working in any party, so it is the party protocol which decides who will become the prime minister, who will become the chairperson. Kamraj was the chairman. He was also offered a prime ministership, if you really remember, in 66. He refused because he said, I don't know Hindi and don't know English. So if election was contested in the name of Babu Jagjeevan Ram, so prime minister kaun hota? Who should have become a prime minister? So where is the Jayaprakash 7 revolution? Huh? No, pehle Morarji Desai. And then when he resigned, the second chance, Charan Singh. So all revolutionary socialists were there. You just betray Dalit prime minister. Babu Jagjeevan Ram became prime minister. ये हिस्ट्री नहीं पता है. Indira ji offered you become a PA with some condition. Condition refused. Again in 1980, Indira ji requested Babu Jagjeevan Ram to merge your party with us and we will project you as a prime minister. ये जब Babu Jagjeevan Ram did a blunder mistake here. He should have merged his party with the Congress.
Pakistan तोड़ दिया. Now Trump is every day humiliating a prime minister. Guys, come here, back, sit down, just negotiate. Every day is doing that. And there is no response from our prime minister. Look, Indira Gandhi.
Go to hell. Go to hell and just divided Pakistan. So, be pragmatic. You have to understand your enemies. And my political understanding is, especially from Dalit perspective, before 1950, one or two Dalit may have been, few families. The paise wala, some, rich people. But if we see the entire middle class, Dalit middle class, it is given by Indian Constitution and Indian Republic. It is because of Indian Constitution, Indian Republic and political will, power of Ambedkar, Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, all. Political willpower. So on the one hand, you have Indian democracy, Indian Republic and Constitution. On the other hand, you have Hindu Rashtra, Manu Smriti. You yourself evaluate where you are safe. My understanding is, if my brother, my relative, is ideologue of the right-wingers contesting election on their tickets or doing whatever, I will be the first person campaign against him or her to defeat them. I was the first person. If any of my relative contesting from the right wing, I will go and campaign against them from my own pocket. This must be the understanding. Otherwise, every Dalit leader taking name of Ambedkar and Hindu Rashtra की पालकी ढो रहे हैं, Hindu Rashtra कंधे पे, taking name from mouth Ambedkar, on kandhe, on shoulders Savarkar, Golwalkar. One shoulders Savarkar, one Golwalkar. So you have to identify your enemies. In the last, I will read a letter written by Indira Gandhi, and it was written on 2 August 1973, after 10 months of my birth. ये चिट्ठी है और मैं लेकर आया हूँ, खास तौर से दलित लोग के लिए मैं कह रहा हूँ और माइनॉरिटीज के लिए. Almost every day, the newspaper display some news item regarding atrocities on Harijans. The attempt is to build an image of carelessness on the part of the government. It is therefore necessary for our government to be especially careful and to instruct collectors and district magistrates and others in authority to be very vigilant to try and prevent such incidents, and if they do take place, to take immediate and strict action. It is also possible that person bent onto mischief may incite trouble or may attempt to involve the police. It was in view of the seriousness of the situation that I had discussed these matters with the chief ministers at the beginning of the year 1973. It had been decided that the chief ministers would form a small cell in every state, small cell, under their personal supervision to look into the grievances of Harijans. उस समय हरिजन ही बोलते थे, not Dalit, Harijans. Harijans, tribes and minorities, and also to make a special effort to ensure, underline, to ensure employment of these categories in state minorities, public undertakings, and so on. I hope follow-up action has been taken either on the instituting such a cell or whatever machinery is considered most effective. क्या कर रही हैं? हर state chief minister, you should have a small cell to look after the interests of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and minorities. Give them employment in all sectors. This is how middle class, Dalit middle class was formed. Is it not Ambedkarite idea? Is it not? And if I'll give you more instances, because she was trained under his father, Jawaharlal Nehru. Nehru wrote several letters. She was part of national movement. She might be having idea of, socialism, democracy, all. And what this Hindu Rashtra people is doing since 1950. Babas, all Babas, they are holding Dharma Sansad, openly attacking constitution. The copy of the constitution was burnt on Parliament Street, openly giving slogans in the favor of Manu Smriti, and most importantly, government is silent. This silence is nothing but it is implicit support and encouragement. And if we are going with them, then traitor is not they, traitor we are. So we need India with constitution, with republic, democracy, social justice, and finally, secularism is as important as the idea of social justice. Shukriya, thank you.